It's that time of year where we should be thinking of others and giving to those less fortunate than ourselves. But the group we're about to meet are making random acts of kindness their way of life all year round. And they've got a great name. They are the Kindness Offensive, and we're joined by David Goodfellow, James Hunter and Callum Teach in our studio in London. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Welcome to the programme. How the devil are you?
Pretty good. Thank you very much for having us on.
It's my pleasure. It's the kindest thing I've done all day. Hey, when did you start this offensive?
About a year ago we kicked off, actually. We decided that we'd go out into Parliament Hill, which is a public space in London, and ask passers-by if there's anything we could do to brighten up their day.
Right, and after you were arrested by the London police and bailed out.
Yeah, and then we managed to help quite a few people on that day, actually.
What was the first act of kindness then?
What was the first one?
I think the very first act of kindness was taking a whole family of people to train with a Moscow State Circus.
What?
Which was absolutely fantastic.
We met a father on the hill who asked us if we could sort out a birthday party for his daughter. So we took his daughter and 9 of their friends all to train with the Moscow State Circus, and then they got to see the Moscow State Circus from front row seats.
These are big acts. I was expecting somebody to say, yeah, you could nip down to the newsagent and get me 20 fags, could you? I'm only...
Well, we've done a whole variety of stuff. In fact, like, just this morning we were handing out what we have left of the hampers from our event a couple of days, yesterday. Feels like a lifetime ago now. We were just handing them out in Oxford Circus. So we do a kind of wide variety of things, but we try and meet every challenge that's put to us, really.
You handed out hampers in Oxford Circus yesterday?
Yeah, this morning, just before we came in here.
How many?
We handed out about 10 this morning, I think. Yeah, we had a couple of boxes left. They were stowed on the back of the bus we were travelling around on, so they got missed on the big giveaway, so we thought we'd make the most of it and hand them out today.
I've got to ask a pertinent question. Who's funding this, guys?
A number of different companies have rallied behind us. Providing the volunteers which were essential for the thing that we've just done was BeInspired.com. They're a charity that focus on kind of inspiring people who are aged 16 to 25 to get involved and volunteer in the community. And then beyond that, there were a whole host of companies. There's Razor, the toy company, who provided a vast majority of the toys. I want one of them.com, I want one of those.com, a lot of the interesting electrical gadgets and remote controlled planes and stuff that we had. Who else helped us out?
There was Philips, wasn't there? They gave, every lady in London must have a lady shave by now.
Yeah. Philips gave us a whole load of their different...
That's about
and Recreation. Recreation, the toys company, is also...
That's a lot of stubble. Can I ask, though, fellas, what drove you to do this?
It's a lot of fun.
It really is.
Of course it is, but I mean, presumably you've got full-time jobs, or have you given that up to become full-time members of the Kindness Offensive?
Well, we're freelance events organisers, so this kind of fits in perfectly to that.
Right.
And this is just a hobby of ours that's taken off and become something absolutely fantastic.
It's eating into more and more of our time, but it really is so much fun doing this that, we kind of, as soon as we finished work, we kind of sit down and we start kind of hitting the telephones.
What do we do next?
Well, we've got something really large coming up, but we have a policy of never saying what we're going to do next until it's all put into place. But if you watch this space, it's going to be really fun, and we'd like to have you all along as well. Everyone's invited.
Guys, come on. You put yourself in my shoes. I've got you on my programme. I want to find out what the big thing is, and you say, we can't tell you.
I'm afraid, no, that's the rule
we
have.
Come on, one random act of kindness for me.
I can tell you...
my show's going down the toilet, if you don't tell me.
Lads. What I can tell you is it's going to be this summer. That's as much as I'm going to say.
I've got the lovely Connie Fisher coming on today. What if I said to her, Connie, what's coming up? And she said, I'm not telling you. Can't tell you that.
We that's the way we do it, I'm afraid. We don't say what our next thing is, but we are going to do it in summer, and it's going to be loads of fun, and it's going to be much bigger than the event that we just finished.
Right. Which was the hampers?
Yeah, which was the hampers. We took a double-decker bus with 70 people, specially painted up. We took it through London, stopping in places in Westminster and Camden. We visited 12 charities, including Great Ormond Streets, Green Acres, Action for Children, a long list of charities. And we also went door-to-door in the Brunswick Centre, which is both a shopping arcade and a live-in area, and also the whole Queen's Park area ward. And in total, we distributed 35 tons of stuff. So I'm told by the company they had to load it onto the articulated lorry. It was a lot of fun though, and everyone really enjoyed it. I think it was really, really special day. You can actually watch clips of it. I think it's on the BBC iPlayer.
Is that so?
Yeah, it is.
We look.
Gareth Furby was with us for the day from London, the London local news, and he did a piece on it. So yeah, you can check it out. You can see us all in balloons and the painted bus. It was a huge amount of fun.
Great. I mean, it's better to give than to receive. They say. Although Ian in the corner is shaking his head. And, because we're tied to the studio, we can't do that. But thankfully, we've got our Richard Cady, who's out on the streets, taking a lead from the Kindness Offensive and the three guys down in London. And he's helping the Scottish masses. And we can say good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Fred.
How are you,
back.
friend?
I'm fine, thank you very much. And to be honest, Fred, I've been doing my best to help people this morning, but I've only had really one successful random act of kindness. It was a very nice one, though. I met Lois, who was limping along with a walking stick. She had a rucksack on her back. She had quite a heavy bag that she was carrying, and also some wrapping paper tucked under her arm.
Right.
And I helped her across the road from Queen Street Station, and she was heading towards Borders to work today.
To work?
Very busy. To work, yeah, I know. She damaged her metatarsal apparently in a very mundane accident.
A mundane accident.
She said,
"How
"I'm sorry,
dare you?"
I've got no special story to tell you about this. I just fell over and broke my metatarsal." And she's obviously going to have a very busy day in Borders on Christmas Eve. And I carried her bags all the way, and she was absolutely thrilled. And it was a much more successful random act of kindness than the one I tried just before that, which was to try and give a man 20 pence in order to use the toilets in Queen Street Station.
All right.
I think he may have thought there might have been strings attached.
Yeah. Richard, yeah, that's a random act, right enough. But it's nothing to do with kindness. Can we don't be loitering around toilets offering pennies to people?
I was just on my way out, and I know what it's like when you get to those things and you haven't got the right change. So I just thought but it went down very badly, Fred, to be honest with you.
That's right. Oh, you've no money to get in the toilet. I'll tell you what, I'll hold my coat open. You just go ahead, right? Okay? Nobody looking. There's no what? But Richard, that was a lovely thing you did for Lois. And can I just say, look at that. She's got a metal tarsal injury, and she's got a rucksack. She's got wrapping paper. She's got all that kind of stuff, and she's still going into work.
She's
and a
still
stick.
going to work. That's what I said to her, and I said, "What could you possibly need in a rucksack to go to work with today?" But after she finishes today, she's heading off to her parents who live in Falkirk, so that's why she had presents in that rucksack, and I did offer to carry that for her too, actually, but she was quite happy
Enough's
that
enough.
I was just helping her enough, so.
Well, we've got the three lads down in London. That was a lovely, kind thing that Richard did this morning. Have you any advice for him? Because he's going to be doing some more, and we don't actually have things for him to give away, especially not money. But any advice for our Richard, fellas?
Yeah, just keep his eyes open, look around and see what people are doing and get involved. If people are buying cups of tea, that's a good one at coffee shops. I guess if you're in a queue for a cash point, an easy one is to let someone in front of you. Just keep your eyes open and look around, really.
Yeah, they hear that? Get to a cash point, Richard, and say, look, you stand aside, I'll punch your PIN number in. You just tell me, what is it? 1727. There you are. Oh, the machine's not working properly.
Probably stay clear of the public lavatories, though.
That's a wise decision.
Steer clear of loos. Yeah. Have you ever, but the not professionals, but the guys that are doing this from the Kindness Offensive, have you ever had a flat rejection? Say, listen, back off, I don't want your help.
We've had people who've met us with confusion and disbelief, but never an outright negative response like that. Some people want to avoid us, a bit like, those charity chuggers on the street with their clipboards, the way people stream past them and want to kind of look down and ignore them. We've had a bit of that, but we've never had anything outright negative, no.
Right. Well, that's good news.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We found kindness is usually very infectious.
And you must, you feel good about yourselves when you've done it, and you must think, well, that's making me a good person. Do you balance things off, lads? Do you kind of think, well, we've done good work for 8 hours today. Let's go and get hammered.
Yeah. Well, at the moment we're recovering from.